There was definitely a time in my life where whenever I'd go to a place to do something, i.e., perform a song in my case, or go and deliver a talk, or just go and chill out with some people, there was a voice in the back of my head that definitely used to tell me that you're not good enough, or used to fill me up with anxiety, i.e., why I could not do what I was going to do or what I had set out to do. Now, that was a horrible space to be in. It was a horrible place to navigate through, but I managed to overcome that. I managed to really get out of that space, and now I see myself in such a better light than I've ever seen myself before. And honestly, the number one thing that I would say that really triggered the overcoming of the personal doubt was getting rid of bad habits. Now, it may sound a bit weird because we're not angels, we don't claim to be angels, we are human beings, we are meant to make mistakes, we are meant to mess up and rectify our mistakes. However, there's definitely an important concept where I can say in my case there were certain habits, and I'm sure you can contemplate on this, and maybe this is the case for you, where there's that one habit that's just dangling over your head. It's like that string that's dangling over your head where you can't get rid of it, and or you've tried to get rid of it and you're just struggling with it. That one habit, as soon as you get rid of that one thing, you'll realize your journey just becomes so much better. Your journey becomes so much better for you in the sense that your mental capacity, the doubts that you have in your mind, once you've overcome that addiction, once you've overcome that difficulty, you'll realize that there's so much more that you can achieve. It's like getting rid of that mental blockage, that mental barrier. So getting rid of bad habits, getting rid of things that I would feel trapped by. It could even be like being addicted to your phone. Like, it doesn't even have to be something like super detrimental, you know. It could literally be a bad habit where you are a slave of your gadgets, you are a slave of something else, you are controlled by your emotions even, you know. So it's things like that. The second thing that really helped me overcome my personal doubts was company. Now, this, my friends, is one of the most important aspects in life, generally speaking. And if you want to progress in your mental state, your physical state, your spiritual state, your company is key. The people you surround yourself with will make you or break you. And I'm sure you've heard this quote before, that show me your friends and I'll show you your future. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Now, you may think, well, I don't actually hang around with someone. Okay, well, in that case, you are the average of the 5 things you consume the most. The 5 people you speak to the most online. It doesn't always necessarily have to be physical meetings. The concept of that is, who are you giving your energy to? Who are you actually spending your energy on? And who are you receiving energy from? If you accompany a thief for a week, you accompany a thief for 2 weeks, the fact is, after a couple of weeks, you're literally going to know how to rob, or you're going to have these thoughts of like robbing someone. Like, you're going to want to just go and rob someone because you will either affect them or they will affect you. I was in a gathering last night, a spiritual gathering, a gathering of meditation and remembrance of God. And man, it was so beautiful. There was like probably, how many of us, like 10 of us sat in a circle. We were just singing some like meditation songs, some spiritual songs. We were like vibing. We were just, you know, having fun, just talking about life. And it got so beautiful at one point that one of the guys that was with us, he hadn't really like accompanied or been a part of like this type of a group before. He was somewhat of someone that was, you know, used to the street life, if I can say so. You know, he was used to like being a bit of a gangster, or like exposed to things that normally you would do, like if you're on the quote unquote wrong path, right? So this guy was sat in the gathering also, and it's amazing because one of my friends started singing some like spiritual Sufi poetry about how, you know, and I'll actually sing a quick, I'll sing a quick verse, and he's like, Je Rab milda ਹੋ ਨਾਤਿਆ ਤੋਤਿਆ ਤੇ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਡੱਡੂਆਂ ਮੱਛੀਆਂ ਬੁੱਲੇ ਸ਼ਾਹ ਰੱਬ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਨੀਤਾ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਸੱਚੀਆਂ. He was like, if God was to be found in the seas and the oceans, then he'd be found by the fish. If God was to be found in the jungles and forests, he would be found by the animals and cows. But, oh Bullah Shah, which is a poet's name, God is found by those who have pure intentions, whose intentions are pure. So my friends started reciting all this poetry, and it's like there was like probably like 20-30 verses. I just recited like 2 lines off like a massive poem. So he started reciting all these poems, and this guy, the guy that I was talking about, he just started crying like uncontrollably. And this is the type of guy that doesn't cry. Like his boys were there. Trust me, like you don't cry in front of your boys. Like it's embarrassing normally on a normal day. But this guy, he was crying uncontrollably, and he didn't even know why he was crying like. But that was the effect of good company. That was the effect of people with good hearts, people that were there with pure intentions. So the moment you surround yourself with people that have good intentions, that are good for you, you'll overcome your personal doubts. You'll feel so good in yourself, man. Bro, I woke up feeling so good today, and I didn't even have the normal 8 hours that I was meant to have because I was there so late. But I feel so good. I feel so happy because that one gathering that we had for a few hours was just so enlightening and so amazing and refreshing. That company, that pure intention that we had, they make you feel so good about yourself. So your company will literally make you or destroy you or break you. So choose your company wisely. Another thing, I definitely try to implement this every single day, and it does work for sure, is just telling yourself what you are grateful for. It doesn't even have to, like, sometimes we get into this like, oh, write it down, make sure you write it down 3 times or 5 times or 10 times. I find that even just sitting down during my meditation and just saying to myself, I'm grateful. Man, I'm really grateful for the water that I drink. I'm really grateful for X. I'm really grateful for my mum. Or I'm grateful for my friends. Or I'm grateful for my house. Just things like that. Just really, you can, like, it's better for you to practice gratitude and express gratitude for one thing and do it properly than it is to write it down for 10 things in a state of like mindlessness, you know? So practice being grateful, practice being appreciative of the surroundings that you have, practice gratitude, and you will find that you will definitely have a raise in your dopamine levels. You definitely will find a sense of happiness in the things that you do. And last but not least, now this is so easy to get into, and I'm a victim of this myself, and I think it's very natural. I think we all do this to somewhat, is comparing yourself to others. We often have this trait where we look at other people and we really compare ourselves, in the sense that we become so insecure in our own ability that when we see something good or something of a greater status than we are at with someone else, we put ourselves down and we find ourselves in this almost jealous, like vicious state, internal state, where we're now really shunning ourselves, we're really talking bad to ourselves because we're not at that stage where we see someone else. Yes, it's true that you should use other people as competition to better yourself. That's the best way you're going to fuel your self-development. But there's a fine line between comparing yourself to others to better yourself and comparing yourself to others in increasing your anxiety and talking bad at yourself. So one way I've overcome this, or I'm trying to overcome this, is again practicing gratitude. When you are grateful for what you have, you will find that you will become so much happier for people around you. When somebody tells you something, if you notice yourself, if you realize that, oh, there's this like feeling of jealousy inside of me, completely like acknowledge that and get rid of it there and then. Be grateful for what you have. Tell yourself that you are enough. Tell yourself that you are good. Delude yourself a bit, even if you really don't feel like you are, so that you can get to that level eventually. And when somebody tells you something, try your best to really be genuinely happy for that person. Really try and be really genuinely glad and joyful for that person. You know, say it to them that I'm so happy for you. Or when you see somebody and you can't say it to them, say it to yourself like, wow, how amazing is that person? And another tip and trick I'll give you on this is, when you're with people and you think about somebody else, praise them. I'm telling you, praise them behind their back. Literally, say to the people with you that this guy or girl or whoever it is so amazing. Think of a good quality that they have and praise them. You simply praising them will develop such a good aura and energy and presence about yourself, first of all. Second of all, the people that you're with will respect you so much more, even if they don't say anything, because you're not the type of person that's going to speak bad about people. And thirdly, you'll become so much more content with the blessings and the grace that you have within yourself, and all of the mercy and whatever you have, all of the blessings that you have within yourself. And that's the goal. Become grateful and appreciative of what you have. So those were some quick steps on how I overcame my personal doubt and how you can overcome your personal doubt. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Peace out.